Okay, thank you, Robert and Jeremy, for joining this week. We'll do like normal and just kind of go around and give an update for anything that you've been working on, and we can discuss anything along the way. Um, it's been overall, it's been kind of slow development for the past 2 or 3 weeks. A lot of other people have been busy with um, just various things, work and life stuff. I've been making pretty good progress on authentication. So that's what I've been working on for a couple weeks now. And I have pretty much everything built for the essential method, which is opaque tokens that are stored in the database. And that is working. And it's awaiting review from Rashab of Super Tokens to kind of do a thorough review of that. He's the one that wrote the pseudocode for that, kind of architected it all, and so he needs to review what I've wrote so far. And there's a few kind of small things I need to finish up on that. But then I'm going to be transitioning and working more towards the code for actually hashing passwords, for sending password reset emails, and kind of fleshing out like what all of that code looks like. And then also OAuth authentication, so like social login. So I'm really happy with how it's going so far. So like using the session management like in an app is like, wow, this is so easy. It's so nice. Like especially compared to Rails, there's a number of benefits. So one, like Rails, you have to redirect to a login page if you need to log in. You can't just log in from that same page, and so you're doing all these redirects, and you have to track like where you redirected from if you want to redirect back there after they log in. But I've set it up with Blitz, so you just have a top-level error component. I mean, you can have multiple ones too, but top-level error component that catches authentication error, and then that will show a login screen, and you log in, and then that error boundary resets, and you're back to where you are but authenticated. So that's really nice because you're not doing all these redirects. And then additionally, you can log in from anywhere, like in any query or mutation, where in Rails it's more difficult to log in from anywhere. So like an example is if during sign up, if you also want to log them in so that they don't have to like sign up and then log in. And so it's really nice. Like you just have access to everything everywhere. So yeah, I'll keep plugging away on that. Probably, hopefully, like within a week, I would think. I guess need to wait on Rashab to review it, and then once he gives a like initial okay, then we can merge it into Canary, and it can be, and we can publish it for people to use. But probably we'll wait to like officially release it. So it'll just be in there and have like a PR open with documentation so that people can kind of play with it and get some feedback before we say like, hey, here it is. And then everybody tries it and nothing works. So, but yeah, it's going good.
Nice.
That's all I have.
I can go next because mine's easy. I haven't done anything on Blitz since the last call. Just waiting, and that's okay. I'll be ready when we're ready to go full steam ahead on it on the website.
Cool. I think Christina has the desktop designs done, but she's now working on the mobile designs.
Yeah, I mean, we could start on desktop, I guess. Doesn't matter to me, but
I I think it's probably better to wait. That way you can build a mobile first.
Yeah, for sure.
So, and it's not a big deal. Like what we have works. So,
Cool.
I guess one thing you could start figuring out is like, um, we need to come up with that code sandbox that she has in the designs, and then also the code snippet at the top in the like the hero section, the top section. And we had kind of talked about like maybe having several different screens there. So like show a screen of like a query and like maybe just a query and the component that uses that query or something like just some code that like gives you a feel of like what Blitz code actually looks like
Mm-hmm.
is the idea. So somebody just needs to kind of figure out what would that be, or at least come up with some initial ideas, and we can work on refining it.
Yeah, I'm sure we could probably come up with a couple ideas and like post it in our channel and get some discussion going on that.
One update I just remembered is we are very, very, very close to having a built-in Blitz support in um, on Vercel. So we got PR is approved, I think, changes that are the requests that are made, and it looks like all the tests are passing. So I would expect like within a week, hopefully, we can have that, and we can deploy it to Vercel without having to also install Next the second time.
Nice. Cool.
Is that all for you, Robert?
Yeah, that's it for me.
Jeremy, do you have anything to? No, that's fine.
No, I don't really have anything to report. I did try to take a moment to look at some of that auth code in that PR to see if I had any notes for it, but I haven't had a chance to get through it yet.
Okay, cool. Are you cute baby in the background? Are you, Jeremy, building anything with Blitz right now?
Not right now. I had a couple ideas. Sorry, I can't really talk right now.
That's fine. I can hear you. Okay. Yeah, I don't have too much else. I so I think I might doesn't really pertain to you folks, but if anyone listens to this, I think we might not do the call in the other week. So like not this week, but the next week, the off week of this call, because nobody's been showing up and nobody really posted availability for the reschedule. So I think people are just kind of too busy and whatnot right now. So might just hold off on that for now and then just have this one every other week.
What was the reaction to the Prisma presentation you gave, the Prisma Day presentation? How'd that go?
It was a tough crowd. So mainly because all of the like people in the Prisma community, most of them use GraphQL because Prisma used to use GraphQL. And so they're like, this doesn't use GraphQL. Like, can I use GraphQL? Like, I want GraphQL. So it was a little bit tough sell of like, hey, actually, it's better to not even have to have GraphQL or anything. I wish I would have known or thought about that. I could have catered the the presentation a bit more towards that, but I didn't really think about it. But it was fine. Yeah, I mean, I had some good feedback, or people like, oh yeah, I'm going to try this out. And then also this past week I had a chat with Reactiflux, which is just like a Discord community, and so it's text Q&A about Blitz. That went really well. There was a bunch of people in there that had not heard of Blitz before and were excited about it. Some really great questions. And that should be posted. I mean, you can go in the Reactiflux Discord and read it, but it should be posted on a website somewhere, like the transcript. I'm not sure if it's up yet, but so I need to look into that.
Sweet.
I guess, and then one other thing was I did a podcast with JS Party, and that was published on Friday, and that was really good. It's a really good kind of TLDR summary of like Blitz, what it's about, like why it's awesome, all that type of stuff.
Cool. It's awesome. Getting the word out.
Yep. And then in a couple weeks, I have another live stream with Kitsa. So the goal is to have the authentication done for that, and then we can actually walk him through building a full application with authentication. So that'll be fun.
Sweet.
Every time
oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was just going to ask, I know like authentication has been such a big like milestone almost since the beginning. What's going to happen once you're done with it? You know, I mean, you might never be done with it, but once you kind of get it out the door, what do you think is going to happen?
I don't know. Definitely, I want to start at some point rebuilding one of my client apps in Blitz, and because I need to get more hands-on experience using Blitz, and because then I'll have more ideas on how to make it better. So this client app has Ruby on Rails, and it has Hasura, and it has Next.js. So it's like a combination of all these. So I could like basically roll it all into just one single app with Blitz. So it should be cool.
Yeah. Cool.
So as I'm like testing auth or different stuff, and every time I write a new Blitz query or mutation and then use it in the front end, I always get this like rush of dopamine or whatever, because it's just so easy. It's like, wow, how did that happen? So.
That's cool. Yeah, I need to mess around with it more. I haven't had a ton of time. I've looked through a lot of the documentation, but I kind of want to run through the tutorial. That's long overdue for me. So I have like a new app idea. I used 8base really fast and just spun up like a create React app just to mess around with 8base. But I don't know, might be cool to see if I can, well, now that auth's coming in, might not need it, but anyways, 8base is pretty cool because it's, you know, it's all serverless and whatnot, so.
Yeah. Cool.
Real quick, that super JSON package, did that note that I had kind of left about the circular references and stuff make sense?
Yeah, it did. I think it's fine to support that. Like, probably won't have it initially, but we could add it for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it puts us in an interesting position having like that API layer be invisible, and so being able to like copy objects from where they are on the server to the client side and be able to keep all of those aspects of it, more than JSON normally would, I think would be a
Yep.
really powerful thing.
Yeah, and I'm going to see if I can convince the Next.js team to use this package too for their get server side props and get static. I don't know if they can do it with get static props. They probably could there too. And get initial props has that problem too. So that's been a long-standing problem of like you just return these objects, dates or whatever in the like get server side props, and then on the front end it's a string. And you're like, what? So you just expect it to be the same, So yeah, that'll be good to get in. As far as I know, Dylan is working on that. So.
And I guess on the auth side, are we kind of picturing it sort of like Devise, where if you don't specify the templates, you get like a default template for reset password and stuff that you
Good
can then
question.
override?
Yeah, so no, my plan is to not do that, and the plan is to use it. And well, so either there's two ways to do it. We can have an installer do it, and or install a recipe to add that code, and then we can also, one thing I want to think about is just having that by default, all the authentication code by default when you run Blitz new to create a new app. So the idea is that you have full control over all your code. There's no like hidden templates or hidden magic that like Devise has. So you have all your code right in your project. So you have the password hashing code there. So if you need to change that or like customize it, because eventually you will, like you have full control over everything, but yet you don't have to write it from scratch. And this is the same way. This is what Elixir has done. So the creator of Elixir is the same person who created Devise for Rails. And so now like his second round of like authentication, he has like a blog post about it, is he decided that it was like Devise was not the right way to do it. And so they're doing the same way. Basically you generate the code into the project. What do you think about that, Jeremy? Oh, you just said makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I think that's a good way to do it. Like the only thing that would be really frustrating was if there was some kind of major security like flaw in the way we put it together, and then we're like, okay, you have to fix like all your templates now. But
Yeah.
barring that happening, yeah, I think it's a successful strategy.
Yeah. I think most of the security vulnerabilities would be in the session management, which is like built into Blitz. It won't be in your user code, like where we're handling all the cookies and everything. So what's in the user land is mainly like just running bcrypt or whatever on the password to hash it. And like that's pretty simple stuff. Okay. Hi, John. Thanks for joining. If you have anything you want to say or questions, um, we've pretty much finished up everything we were talking about. So if you have anything, you're welcome to say something or ask questions. Otherwise, we'll end the call. Cool. All right. Thank you everyone for joining, and let's go on and continue to make Blitz the best framework we've ever had.
Sounds
See
good.
ya.
See you, Brandon.